Today, we're talking about a form of healing that's as powerful as it is, maybe, a little surprising. For people who've been forced to flee their homes, just getting to safety is only the first step. The real journey, the one of healing, often begins after that, and sometimes it all starts with a simple song. Just listen to this quote from a volunteer teacher working with Syrian refugee kids. It's just so telling. It shows us that after the kind of trauma these children have seen, the first step to healing might not be talking at all. It might be listening. It suggests that right where words fail, music can crack open a door. Healing can start in a melody. Because, getting shelter, food, and water, that's a huge battle, for sure. But the journey of displacement leaves behind these deep, invisible wounds. The kind you can't see in a physical exam, but the kind that can absolutely shape a person's entire future. All right, so let's dig into that. What are these invisible wounds really? What are we actually talking about when we discuss the deep trauma of displacement? Yeah, PTSD is a big one, obviously, but the psychological toll is so much broader than that. Study after study documents this whole spectrum of challenges. It's that profound loss of who you are, a feeling of being totally cut off from your own culture. It's a deep, gnawing loneliness that can feel absolutely inescapable. This is the unseen baggage they're forced to carry. So here's the big question, right? The wounds are deep, they're complex, they're internal. How could something as seemingly simple as music possibly be a real treatment for that? Well, the answer is actually pretty scientific. And look, we're not talking about just, putting on your favorite playlist to boost your mood. This is about using music deliberately, therapeutically, to hit very specific psychological goals. So what is music therapy really? I want you to focus on two phrases here: clinical and evidence-based. This isn't just a feel-good activity. It's a structured health profession that uses things like rhythm, melody, and harmony as actual, precise tools to help people process trauma and really rebuild their emotional foundations. And here's how it actually works, step by step. It's pretty brilliant. First, music creates a safe space where you don't have to talk. It's nonverbal. Then, it opens up a channel to express things. A sad melody can say so much more than a paragraph ever could. On a purely biological level, a steady rhythm can literally help calm a nervous system that's stuck in fight or flight mode. And finally, and this is huge, making music together rebuilds the very thing trauma destroys, that connection with other people. And if you're thinking, okay, that sounds nice, but where's the proof? Well, we've got it. There was a major meta-analysis in the journal PLOS One that pulled together 10 different studies on over 500 refugees. And the results are what you're seeing here. Researchers found that music therapy had a large, statistically significant impact on reducing PTSD symptoms, and also a large effect on anxiety and depression. So no, this isn't just a nice idea, it's a proven intervention. But what's so incredible is that this healing doesn't just happen inside one person's head. Music starts to act as a bridge, connecting people not just to each other, but back to their own culture. And we're seeing this idea take hold all over the world. And this is not some small, niche thing. It's a genuine global movement. I mean, look at this. You have major players like UNICEF and the UNHCR using music, but they adapt it. So in Turkey, it might be a children's choir. Over in Greece, it's a whole youth orchestra. In Palestine, it's music workshops for the community. The method changes, but that core principle, healing through music, stays the same. Wow. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. This quote from someone in the UNHCR's Iraq program, it says everything. Look at that incredible shift in identity. The music doesn't erase the fact that they're a refugee, but it gives them a new, powerful, positive identity. It's a restoration of agency. I am a musician. That is powerful. And we're not talking about just a handful of people. That one UNHCR program just in the Kurdistan region of Iraq has already reached over 700 displaced kids and young adults. That's hundreds of lives being reshaped, hundreds of voices being found again, all through music. So this is really the heart of it, right? Music as a bridge. On one side, it connects a person back to the familiar songs and rhythms of home, which helps preserve their cultural identity.
But at the exact same time, by making music with others in their new home, it forges brand new connections to their new community, directly fighting that awful isolation that comes with displacement. So when you pull it all together, what does it all mean? It points to music being something so much more fundamental than just entertainment. It's a core part of what it means to be human. This is the journey, boiled down to its very essence. Through music, a person can go from isolation to connection, from trauma to a real pathway for healing, and maybe, most powerfully of all, from silence to finally having a voice again. This is the transformation we're seeing in the hard data and in every personal story. And that leaves us with a pretty profound question to think about. In a world that is so often focused on just the material needs, food, shelter, the power of a simple melody to restore a person's identity and hope is an incredible reminder. If a song can help rebuild a life that's been torn apart, then maybe things like art and connection and expression, maybe they aren't just luxuries. Maybe they're as essential to our survival as anything else.